if it happened to be one of those desserts onto which you would pour rum or other type of drippy syrups and icings and things, it could collect in this well and not run over the sides and drip all over your damask tablecloth.
Oh dear. You have to hold your mouth the right way to be able to see it. Let me see if I can hold my mouth the right way. That didn't work.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the front porch of the 1925 bungalow. I'm Scott. Let's have a thrift haul. Some of it you already saw when I was sitting on the front seat of my truck here, there, and everywhere. But it's now all been washed, handled, and I'm ready to show it to you again. Plus, there are some surprises. Oh, wait until the end of this video. Now, don't you fast forward. Come on now. I'm going to show you the best Torchiere lamp as of yet. From the 1930s that I just bought the other day. I still can't believe... What is this behind me? Oh, good heavens, I can't believe I set that back there. Ooh, good, I'm glad I didn't lean back. I don't think Mr. Toby would have appreciated it. Now, he really is a Toby jug because he is seated. If they're not seated or in a sitting position, they're not a Toby. Popular in England, this one was made in Czechoslovakia between the world wars, and I love him. Now, I didn't finish what I was saying. I found a Torchiere lamp that's so quintessential 1930s, you're going to absolutely love it, I hope, if you like 1930s design. That's in the house. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's finish up with this. You know, not one, but two of these Terrier banks. And they are banks, but they are marked Japan on the bottom. And I kind of have a suspicion about these, which maybe I'll talk to you about when I go to sell them. But there's one. And hey, this is all new to the OCS. I haven't even begun. This is the day after the autumn extravaganza. Thank you, everyone. That was so much fun. And tonight I'm gonna start packing. Actually, I've already started, but I'm really going to be working at that this evening to get those boxes out to you tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So thank you, everyone. I worked on the invoices this morning. You saw the syrup jug with the Bakelite handle in butterscotch. Doesn't it look nice next to my mum? Not my mother. My mother, that's a mum. I think you call your mother's mum in the United Kingdom, don't you? That's my favorite Jacobean mug, by the way. I only have the one. I've only found one, and I use it every autumn season. Here are 4, but I bought 12 matching red plates. These are Depression era. They are, say it with me, fire polished and ground bottoms. That's right. And red was more expensive because they had to put a little bit of gold dust in here to get this color. At least before, Anchor Hocking figured out how to do it without any gold dust. Look at the this is the part that's polished, that's ground on the bottom and polished right here. Ought to see this? And you can look at it in the sunlight and you can see it. And so I have, what did I tell you? 12. They are 8-inch plates. Christmas dessert. Those are not made by Anchor Hocking. They would be one of the good glass companies of the 1930s, 20s. I think we looked at this really nice yellow vase, unmarked, but it's got to be American. I might hold on to that. Because usually sometime right around, late March, early April, I do a spring extravaganza when we bring out the beautiful colors of springtime. So I might hold on to that until then. Look at that teapot. Not a chocolate pot. The teapot spout goes way down to the bottom. The chocolate pot spout is short and squatty and protrudes from the top, the upper, very close to the upper edge of the pot. You'll see that. Hand painted. Are they raspberries on there? Blackberries? You decide. But look at the colors. Excellent condition. It's a cute little thing. That would be nice for the springtime show as well. I only wish I could have gotten the cream and sugar. It's nice porcelain, and it is Bavarian, as we can see on the bottom. So we'll put this lid back. This is all hand painted by someone, and I love the berries. What say you? One of the neat things about living up here in the old Northeast, so much of this land was developed way before we had electricity in homes that there's an endless supply, because everybody had to have these before electric lamps. Here's a beautiful example. It's beautiful glass pressed in a mold, so this is EAPG, Early American Pressed Glass. Very nice quality to this glass as well. The little burner mechanism at the top says Queen Anne, and there's always something here on the little, sorry, and you have to hold your mouth the right way to be able to see it. Let me see if I can hold my mouth the right way. It didn't work. I still can't figure out how to turn my mouth. So anyway, I can see that it says Queen Anne right there. But the writing on here, the embossed, whatever it is on there, is too small for these eyeballs. And you know, I got a bad, one of my eyes has been not in good, oh no, wait a minute. Made, it probably just says, oh, it says Made in America. Made in America. Okay, you stay right there. Now, there's one more thing up there, but first, you saw this mountain of pink when it was dirty and taped together. Now, we have it separated. So two beautiful pieces of, I love this. This is somewhat unusual. I won't say unusual, but not as readily found. This type of a compote, rather than the more typical bowl type compote for sauces and mayonnaise and candies and things like that. Look at that one. So we have these, and they just came the other day. You didn't see me find this. Another center handled tidbit tray in green, and it's got beautiful painted enamel flowers. This would be wonderful for the springtime show as well. So I'll turn it this way and let you see the flowers that were factory painted on there. And they are in wonderful condition. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Okay. Now I'm going to need some help on something I'm going to show you in a minute. But, okay, so there's one of those things. Here's another one. You did see this in the truck. Look at that embossed pattern. This one might be Paden City. Look at that. But I haven't looked it up in my books. That's one of the things that I actually enjoy doing in the evenings. In the evenings, when I say, okay, I've had it, I've worked all day, and I'm ready to just, I turn on maybe another live sale or some other thrifting videos, or sometimes a lot of nights I just turn on music. And I'll sit and I'll start going through my books. And and I can guarantee you, I might spend an hour looking for this, and I might find it and I might not. But while I'm looking for this in my books, it'll lead me down the garden path. Ooh, I think I know what that is. Wait a minute, I think it's in the basement. And I run down to the basement. Then I spend 20 minutes researching that. And I figure out, well, I didn't find out what that was, but I found out what that was. There's another one. I would rather dig into my books any day than just quickly try to look something up. I learn more that way. There's more of a chance of discovery. And so I would recommend you try to build yourself a good book library if you can. I know I'm always screaming about that. Anyway, that handle is so typical of you-know-who. That's a nice, another big pink one. Blue, we're going to have some, everybody needs a couple of these center handle, just like the mayonnaises. We're going to see one in a minute. You had to have a cheese and cracker set, a mayo set, and a center handled tidbit. You had to have it if you were keeping house in the 1920s or 30s. Now, where was I going with that? Oh, I know. The only thing I don't like about these, they're a pain in the neck to store. You can't stack anything on them. They're big. They just have to just kind of sit there all by themselves. So they're hard to collect unless you display them on a wall or display them this way. You just can't get that many of them on a table. I don't know. I guess there's probably somebody out there that collects them. Now, what a big deal this was in the 50s, and it lingered into the early 60s. Anchor hocking. This is the laurel pattern, and yes, this is peach luster. I have 4 dinner plates, 4 cups and saucers, and 4 berry bowls. I don't think they were used. If this gets used heavily or scrubbed within an inch of its life in the sink, that peach will start to come off. So you do want to watch that. But again, this was factory made, cheap, everyday glass that you would just sling around. You wouldn't use this when the company came over, but you would use it for the family. Who's screaming across the street? We saw those, and we know what they are. I'm not going to repeat it. We saw those, delightful. That'll be in the snow and ice sale in January. This little dude might wait and come back during the springtime sales that I like to do in the springtime. Duh. Oh, what is that doing back there? I didn't know this. Oh, that's a little. I was looking for that dumb thing. That's a little Fire King custard cup. And I was out here the other night eating peanuts out of that. And I forgot that that's where it was. The curtain kind of blew in front of it. Ooh. That's a tiny one. Now, take a look. You haven't seen this yet. This is a standard size, what's called a mayonnaise set. Okay, we know this. There's an underplate, there's the mayonnaise bowl, it's footed with a little stem, it's low and squatty, it's always about that size, and it has a matching glass spoon or ladle, what am I going to call it. This is a little bit of a puzzle because look how tiny, and that's original to this. It fits. This might have been just a fancy sherbet and an underplate for a very expensive table setting. I'm not sure, because look at how tiny. That is the size of a little sherbet. That's one scoop of vanilla ice cream. Look how small it is compared, and probably the camera isn't really showing the difference. But you'll just have to believe me when I tell you, this is so small. That's about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise or salad dressing, where that's the standard size. So this could have been, and it's so fancy. Look at that underplate. So was this meant, was this just a very small accessory to a larger set? I mean, it's really individual size, but the condition on it is wonderful. I'll eat my rainbow sherbet out of that. Now, of course, I'm familiar with the Anchor Hocking batter bowls in jadeite, and they reproduce them. But I haven't had one in sort of the mixing bowl style. And again, I talked before that this is probably, especially since we have decoration on the outside as well, this is too fancy and it's a lot of overkill just for the kitchen. So this probably went to a breakfast set, and this was meant for batter. And the reason why I'm saying that is breakfast sets were made and they were decorated inside and out. And you'd have a coffee pot that would match, creams and sugars, muffineers. And that, there goes my squirrel. Because it was a thing in the 20s and 30s for a mother to prepare breakfast in the dining room for the family. That was, even if she had a domestic, it was perfectly acceptable for her to do that. And women often did that if they were of means to do it. So that's really pretty, and it's a hot oven. Hot oven. Look at this. Ooh, that's a nurse. Now, we'll turn the nurse around, and there's the signature on the back. Now, I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to have it answer some questions for me as to when it was cast. When I see that gray, that type of gray felt on the bottom, that's not the type of gray felt that I see in from the turn of the century into the 1920s and 30s. That's the kind of gray felt that I see more as we get into the 40s and 50s. So even though we know when he lived, and we know when the mold was cast, or we know when he carved the piece, and we can see the paint scheme that's on it, which is in really good condition, and there are no chips on it in the plaster. A couple of chips in the paint, which is expected on stuff like this, but this is not chalkware. It is a, well, actually, it is kind of, well, it might be chalk. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell between chalk and ceramic, but I think in this case, she is a chalkware. How about that? Now, I'm also going, oh, holiday. No, I'm not singing well, I guess I was singing a Madonna song. I have 4 plates, depression glass plates, and the holiday pattern. And these actually came out in the 50s. Yeah, this is a late pattern, but it still shows up in depression glass books, and I have 4 holiday plates. You played with them, I played with them, your grandparents played with blocks like that. They've been making them forever. They probably still are. These might be from the 1960s or before, because I don't think that they're putting, let's pull a few of these out. I don't think they're putting animals on them today. So we have the regular blocks, but here we have chick, chicory chick, chala, chala. You know I can't help but sing that. We have lion. We have pony. Hello, little pony. We have fish. Ooh, I'm not happy with fish right now because they've got a hold of my cell phone. We have horse. Well, it wasn't the fish's fault, it was my fault. Are we going to go through all these? We have hen. There's horse again. Okay, but we've had enough of this. And there's duck. Let's put them all back in. When I played with these, I don't remember. I know my mother still has the wooden blocks that I played with. I don't remember them having animals on them. Oh well. Ah. Here's something I have never found before. Until this one. You say, oh, big deal. It's just one of those little EAPG. Well, it is one of those little EAPG. But look how low and squatty it is. And it has a rum well. RUMWELL. Yeah, a rum well. But look how small it is. 9 inches across, right from here to here. That's what that is. So that whatever delicious cake or dessert was placed on top, if it happened to be one of those desserts onto which you would pour rum or other type of drippy syrups and icings and things, it could collect in this well and not run over the sides and drip all over your damask tablecloth. While the ladies from the while the ladies from the fruit and flower mission are having luncheon with you. That would be horrible to have dribble on your damask. Now, I love that it's kind of transitional. Very typical pinwheels. I mean, that's EAPG. But then the base is just stepped and very plain. Almost geometric. Almost looking like we're getting into the 1920s on that. Almost looking like the Manhattan pattern under there. Very simple, yeah? So not what you would think of for EAPG. I don't have another example. So I love this little guy. Get up there. Now, 2 more things, and we're gonna go inside and look at that lamp. I can't wait for you to see that lamp. Time to put that swing set away soon. I'm about to show you 2. Well, no, I take that back. I'm about to show you 1, but I have 2. Now, these might have been made yesterday. Well, I don't think they were made yesterday, but they might not be as old as a person might think. I'm still digging around. Now, you know me and you know what I'm going to tell you. I need your help, but not just any type of help. Okay, I really need you to give me some ideas. And it would be helpful if you would research those ideas first. That will save me some time. It's a very soft paste, I guess that's what you call it, almost like creamware, soft paste pottery, you know? Low fired, I guess is what I'm thinking. Now, I'm no expert on any of this. First thing, I'm just looking at it, and I'll bring it up closely to you. Look at how delicate all of these are molded and placed on there. Now, this isn't Capodimonte. Although, you know, somebody might say, hey, that might be Italian Capodimonte. It's a very creamy color, so maybe they're English. But again, I have two. The lids are pierced. See? As if you could put potpourri in there and it would waft through the openings in the top. Just look at that lid. Study it. See? Now I know someone is going to have this is all done by hand. I don't know. There's another look at it. Look at these beautiful, is this like an acanthus leaf out here? And then we have a festoon of flowers. Oh, that little boy does not want to get into his car seat. There he goes. And let the screaming begin. No, he's doing better than he did last time. This is one of those things I should know, but I don't deal in this type of object often. But I recognized the quality, and there's a pair of them, right? Now, turn it upside down. Maybe out here in the light on this porch, I'll be able to read it. Hold on. I cannot read that word. Yeah, you put a piece of paper on it and you rub it with a pencil and different things, but I still can't figure out what that is. I don't think these are English because there would be so many hallmarks, and all I have on there is just that one word, that one bit of right here. See that? And I've turned it this way and this way and this way. That's the price that I paid. $4.59 each. So I can't read whatever that is that's just stamped in there. Somebody's going to know. Yes, you're probably always going to find a little bit of loss, but I really studied these, and there's not much loss. Not much. So, soft paste, creamware, I don't know. Maybe Italian. And I'm usually not into Italian design. Not 20th century anyway. I'm just not into all that Murano. That's just me. But this is more classical, right, in design. I like these. I have a pair of them. How many times am I going to say that? So, what ye think? What think ye? Set these down over here. And then, I guess, I've got one more thing to show you, which you've already seen, so that's going to be an anti-climax. But then we'll go inside and take a look at that lamp. There is the wonderful little teapot with its drippolator top, its lid, its filter for the tea. It's all there. Tea leaves, hot water, drips through. Take that off, put your lid on, and go and have yourself a cup of tea. That's really pretty. The condition is excellent. It looks very English, don't it? But it says oven-proof, oven to tableware, 22 karat gold. Doesn't say anything about England, so I think it's American made. Okay, let me put it. Did I get it all? Probably not. Yes, yes, yes. I did. Let's go look at a 1930s. This is right out of a Thin Man movie. I'm telling you, let's go look at it. You're going, Myrna Loy, she's gonna go nuts over this. Run along, little Susie. Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. Wow. Okay, let's move in. You can see the whole length of the thing from here. Wait a minute, I gotta look at the floor because I've got glass all over the floor and I don't want to step on it. Move in. Oh my goodness. Can you see it now? Some swanky Park Avenue apartment. It's on either side of a fireplace, either side of an entryway from the hallway into the living room. It doesn't fit with my colonial revival, does it? It's not going to go there. It's just sitting there for right now. Don't worry. I'm not going to open the door and knock it down. It's just sitting there for the moment. Yep. When new, you could have bought these in pairs. They were often sold in pairs and not used in funeral parlors. Oh my gosh. All right, let's turn it. This is glass. This is that wonderful... what am I trying to say? Oh, it's that sandy colored glass. It's not coming to my mind right now. That was so popular. I guess I can lift it out. We see I have an amber light bulb in it. Let's bring it over here. This is so 1930s. This glass. Oh, I gotta get that out of the cabinet. I'm ready to put some of my autumn things in there. But there's that shade. Let's go and stick it back in this sort of classical urn. That's it. I have suspicion that at some time this was repainted. Been quite a while ago, and at first I didn't like this drab brown. It's growing on me. I guess probably because I have so many earth tones in this room. I actually kind of like it. But if I didn't like it, I could repaint it, since I do believe this has already been repainted at some time in its life. So it stands a little bit, it stands about 5 feet 10 inches tall. No, about 5'9". And I would have loved to have had a pair of them. Okay, I've only got one. Boy, oh boy. In an apartment on the 98th floor of some beautiful Manhattan building. And what am I going to do with it? I don't know. I will tell you that I happen to know that the Jeanette Glass Company, Macbeth Evans, they all made shades like this in the 30s. They did indeed, and they made them for companies who made light fixtures such as this, floor fixtures and others. When I bought it, and I can't turn it off right now because it's hot wired, the switch right here is broken. And so whoever rewired it bypassed the switch and they went right to the socket. So the only way to turn it off is to unplug it. I'm going to fix that and get myself a new switch and rewire it so we're back to the way it should be. But the price was $40. And I very politely pointed out that the switch was broken, and I was nice to the lady, and the lady was nice to me. She said, "Oh, what if I bring it down to 30? I said, "Okay, I'll take it." When I got up to the register, she said, "You know what? You're so excited over this. I'm only going to charge you 20. Oh my goodness. 20 bucks. If If I could get a Hollywood film company, boy, I could sell them or loan them or rent them some props. Anyway, I love that thing, and it's classic 30s. What do you think? Oh, I wish I could have found a pair of these. Oh well, we'll take what we can get. Okay, dear ones, this video was a little bit longer than I had intended, so thank you for watching. And tell me what you think about some of those items that I showed you. What was your favorite today? And have you got any idea about that pair of like sort of classical urns that I purchased the other day? Until I see you the next time, I am Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching, wait for the cat, and so long for now.